All right, boys and girls. So today we're going to continue with our quadrilaterals, geometry, this whole unit that we've been doing. And we're going to take what we did last time and we're going to extend it even further. So basically, last time you were asked to find 4 attributes of a particular quadrilateral and then 4 attributes of shapes that do not fit with that particular quadrilateral. Well, today we're going to get creative. We're going to use a Google slide and we're going to create a slide for 3 different quadrilaterals: squares, parallelograms, and rhombuses. I'm going to make that plural so it all lines up: squares, parallelograms, and rhombuses. So it's going to be kind of set up like this, where each of these shapes, each of these quadrilaterals are going to get their own slide. And very similar to the trapezoid one that I demonstrated last time, you're going to write 4 attributes of your quadrilateral and then 4 reasons that the shapes that are in the other group are not examples of your quadrilateral. You also don't forget to make a title. So each one, squares is going to have a title, parallelograms will have a title, and the rhombus will have a title. And then furthermore, you're going to show 2 examples and 2 non-examples of your quadrilateral. So you're going to basically add to the, just put them next to those circles, and I'll show you in a minute. But you'll add to those examples using our toolbar up here on the slideshow. And then finally, you'll have a sentence that will basically kind of sum up your quadrilateral. Try to include all the important attributes on the bottom that when somebody reads it, they'll know, okay, that's a square or that's definitely a parallelogram. So all the important attributes. And then finally, make sure that your poster is informative and colorful, and most importantly, have fun. So let's kind of take a look at our slideshow here. We have the first pages are the directions that I just explained to you. Next page, here are those, it's that word bank that was useful when I was thinking about trapezoids yesterday. Then we also have some vocabulary, and these kind of have the answers to the sentence that you might put at the bottom of the slide. That I don't think the steps are numbered, but right here it says a sentence at the bottom that tells what makes your quadrilateral special. So, I mean, this vocabulary is really key, and you are allowed to use it. So here's my slide from yesterday. We have tricky trapezoids. I left up my 4 attributes, 4 and 4 attributes, why not? And then if you continue down, you'll see there's squares and not squares. The next slide is parallelograms, not parallelograms, and rhombus and not rhombus. Okay, so this is your canvas. You are going to, add your information and decorate these slides the best that you can. I'm just going to do today's on trapezoids since I already started last time on trapezoids. So the next thing after doing the 4 attributes for and against, and after having a cool title, Tricky Trapezoids with alliteration, T and T, now I have to add 2 examples and 2 non-examples. So if you remember from my demonstration last time, if I go up to shape, I'm going to see if I have, and I know I have 2 different trapezoid shapes. So here's one. And then that's my isosceles trapezoid. So there's one, and then I can also change the color by going up here. It looks like a little paint can tipping. I'll make it green for Spartans. And then let's see. I know that there's another trapezoid on there, the right trapezoid that we used last time for demonstrating right here. So I'm gonna put it here. I'll rotate it. For some reason, I always want to rotate it like this. And then I'm going to go back to my color and maybe I'll make it blue. Okay, so I have 2 examples of trapezoids, and now I have to put two not trapezoid examples. So I can go back to my shapes. I definitely know an arrow is not a trapezoid, so I'm going to put an arrow here. And then what color should I do? I don't know, purple? Purple arrow. Maybe I'll even make the arrow go up. So you can rotate it by clicking on that little dot. Or maybe it's diagonal, I don't know, we'll leave it. So there's a purple arrow. Now an arrow is a polygon. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-sided shape. So that's actually called a heptagon. And let's see, another shape that is not a trapezoid. I mean, I could even do like a moon shape because it has curved sides. And let's color in the moon yellow just because. Okay, so trapezoids, not trapezoids. The final task is to put a sentence on the bottom, and I'm going to need to go up here. I don't think there's a text box down here. So I'm going to stretch out a long text box. And now I'm going to write a sentence that describes all trapezoids. So I'm going to go back to my notes, or I could even go back to my vocabulary. That's actually a really good place to start. It says a two-dimensional flat shape with four sides, exactly one pair of which are parallel. Okay, so that's not how I would say it, but it's definitely useful information. So I'm going to put a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly one set of parallel sides. Okay. Now another thing, and I know definitely my class knows how to change the size of fonts and to change the font to whatever you want. I don't want your whole lesson to be consumed with kids playing with the size. Well, I guess I got to go. Well, actually, let me see. That's a cool font and it fits. So if you wanted to change the font on the sides, you have to make sure you highlight and then go up here to the number and switch it to whatever size you want it to be. I think I had 18 on that one. Okay, so now it looks really nice and neat. Everything's uniform. Let's say I want to make that moon move down. If I just click right here, it's, what does it do? Makes it like kind of a fatter moon, that little center thing. But that's not what I want to do. I want to move it. So I'm going to hover over it until I see that plus right there with the arrows. Now if I click it, I can move it down. Oh, wait, it didn't work. It must have clicked off of the arrows what I was doing. So now I can move it up and down like that. There you go. So there you go. And then I would move on to my next shape if I was ready. Actually, one more thing. I'm going to change the background. Right click. It says change background. And I'm just going to do the color. We don't want like an image back there because it would be too cluttered. But maybe I'll do like a nice light blue or something. Boom. Tricky trapezoids. Doesn't that look nice now? And then I would move on to my other trapezoids. So hopefully this video helps. Remember, you could always go back and watch it again if anything is confusing. And good luck.